Hey folks, it's Sam. I'm talking about December 2024 Vedic astrology. We start with a lot of Scorpio energy starting out the month. Then Mars goes retrograde. Jupiter's aspecting, Saturn is aspecting. There's a whole lot at the beginning of the month revolving around Scorpio. And then later in the month, we have a shift into Sagittarius. But really, the whole month is like a Scorpio cycle as the new moon in Scorpio happened on December 1st. So we're going to be talking about that today and going through the month here. So check it. And as you can see, 2025 is just around the corner. You want to be prepared. You can get my free web class, the 10 plus most important shifts for 2025. You just go there and register. You pick a date and time, and it's easy to, it's easy to sign up. And I'm going to go over these shifts, and included in that is the Jupiter and Gemini for your sign, for each of the 12 signs. But we have solar eclipse in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, a lot of heavy Pisces energy early in the year, including Venus retrograde in Pisces. So again, a huge year ahead, 2025. Mars enters Leo. We have solar eclipse still in Virgo. We have the nodes changing and moving into the Aquarius Leo axis. So again, it's very easy. Just go to 2025 vedicastrology.com or click the link below this video and register for that. It's free. And you'll definitely also learn about the Jupiter and Gemini shift for you, because it's very important based on whatever your rising sign is, how that Jupiter is going to affect you. So as you can see, we have the chart here, and this is December 1st. You can see there's all this energy around Scorpio at the beginning of the month. In fact, we had the new moon in Scorpio here right at the beginning of the month. And it's not only that the new moon is there, but Mercury is retrograde in Scorpio. Again, I did a whole update on that. Saturn is also aspecting Scorpio. Jupiter is also aspecting. And the ruler, Mars, is what's called stationary retrograde at the beginning of the month. And then Mars is going to go retrograde on December 7th. He goes retrograde. But really, the entire month is also a kind of referendum on Scorpio energy becoming Sagittarius, because on December 30th, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. So the whole month is a Scorpio cycle of December 2020. I'm sorry, December 2024. I don't know what year it is. So again, very pivotal and intense month, really, especially starting off. And you see, I'll just go through each of the days here as we start off here on the 1st. Then you see as we go forward, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, we have the moon goes into Sagittarius, more hope and inspiration and purpose. But you can also see that Venus goes into Capricorn here on December 2nd, right? So for most of the month, Venus is in Capricorn, right? And again, that shows this kind of seriousness around our relationships and our commitments, aspected by this debilitated Mars up here in Cancer. So we're feeling that emotional volatility. Again, a lot of that this month, because we're in the Scorpio cycle, Saturn aspecting, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter aspecting again. So all this Scorpio energy is there, where we're processing our vulnerabilities and things like that. And again, this is the nature of Scorpio that we all sort of grapple with. But again, we see at the beginning, though, Venus goes into Capricorn at the beginning of the month, bringing that sort of seriousness around our commitments and our connections with others. The moon hits that on the 5th and 6th. And then you see here, Mars goes retrograde here on the 7th. Saturn moon conjunction up here as well in Aquarius. So again, as this very beginning of the month, there's a lot of intense energy, especially now at this point. Mars turns retrograde, aspecting Venus, also aspecting over here this Saturn moon, and this moon Saturn for a couple days on the 7th and the 8th here. And then we have moon Rahu up here on the 9th and 10th. So again, this first part of the month from December 1st till around the 10th, we have, again, all this intense Scorpio energy, just as a backdrop. Mars debilitated, then he goes retrograde. Again, all these aspects to Saturn, Saturn onto the sign of Scorpio, and then the moon going over Saturn, going over Rahu. So again, you can see here, this is December 10th, and there's already just a lot of intense energy already, right? And so this start of the month does have a lot of this intense emotional energy, right? Because especially with the Mars retrograde in Cancer, where we're trying to strengthen our emotional vulnerabilities and things like that. So finally, when we get like on the 11th, 12th, this moon in Aries feels kind of like a new beginning, right? And it's not since the moon was down here in Sagittarius at the beginning of the month has the moon been clear of a bunch of planets, right? So having this moon in Aries, this on the 11th and 12th, is definitely something that will feel kind of like a breath of fresh air there a little bit. And then for a couple days, the moon goes into Taurus, and there's also a full moon. And the moon is also exalted up here. I'll talk about that in a second. Folks, as you know, 2025 is right around the corner. I'm making some readings to get you ready and get you on track for 2025. We have some big changes that are happening. Saturn is going to be moving into Pisces, where we're dissolving structure, whether we want to or not. Jupiter's moving into Gemini, expanding ideas, but also expanding disinformation and bad ideas. Nodes move into the Aquarius Leo axis, where we're serving culture or king. Also a lot of other things ahead, numerous retrograde cycles, including Venus retrograde, a lot of energy on Pisces early in the year. I'm doing these quick readings that are based on, I say quick, it's a 30-minute assessment of your chart, your dashas, and all of these shifts that are coming. So again, a lot coming up, eclipse cycles, and a lot more. So check it out and register for the reading while you can. Yeah, and so that'll be important. A lot of people getting those 2025 readings as well. So as I said when I left off here, the moon then on the 13th and 14th, after having gone into Aries, the moon is exalted here, 13th and 14th, here in Taurus. It's also joined Jupiter, and there's a full moon in Taurus here. It's actually on the 14th, right? So again, I'll obviously do a full moon forecast at that time. But again, as we get into the middle of the month, some of the energy starts to shift. As you can see, 13th and 14th, the exalted moon in Taurus is going to feel good. It's also joined Jupiter. And you see the sun here on the 14th, or actually on the 15th, the sun goes into Sagittarius. So that breaks that sort of Scorpio spell, at least with having so many planets there in Scorpio. But again, we're still in the Scorpio cycle until the next new moon. But on the 15th, 16th, the moon goes through Gemini, more levity, lightheartedness. But then we have 17th, 18th, 19th, the moon is joined this retrograde, debilitated Mars. Now that can offer some support because it's, sort of like the mommy who is there taking care of the little, screaming baby kind of thing. And Mars is kind of like the screaming baby, sort of. And so that's those couple of days will be, relatively supportive in that sense. But again, these are, this can also be quite an emotionally volatile time as well, because the moon in Cancer joined this retrograde debilitated Mars is also full of some emotional intensity. So you need to be careful of that. Then you see the moon continues through Leo. There's also what's called hemming between Mars and Ketu happening here on the 20th and 21st. Saturn is also aspecting. So again, Leo is very ambitious. So these could be a couple of days where you're focusing on your work and ambitions, but it's also kind of heavy with Saturn aspecting, bringing pressure. 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Now we're getting near the holiday time. Moon Ketu in Virgo, again, like this kind of maybe holiday worries, about the Virgo, did I get it all done? But Jupiter is aspecting. So instead of getting so lost in all of that stuff, maybe it's also a good time, again, to connect with your teachings, your teachers, your higher wisdom, higher purpose, with that Jupiter aspecting this moon Ketu here in Libra, or in Virgo. Then on the 25th, 26th, the moon is in Libra. And again, this is better. And it's, it's not bad for the 25th, especially if you're spending time with, holiday and whatnot, to avoid, politics and difficulties. Moon in Libra is more cooperative, but it's also where we're sort of emotionally aware of how appreciated we are. And it can be a little tricky, particularly because it's close to the debilitated sign. And then you can see 27, 28, 29, the moon is back where it began at the beginning of the month. Now, Mercury isn't retrograde anymore, but it's, at the beginning of the month, it was Mercury retrograde, joined the sun and moon. Now here on the 29th, 27, 28, 29, moon is back in Scorpio in that debilitated sign, that heaviness. There's still the aspect from Saturn, aspect from Jupiter. Mercury isn't retrograde anymore. He's moving forward. So hopefully you've unwound that story a little bit more creatively in your head than at the beginning of the month when Mercury was retrograde in Scorpio. And then here on the 30th, this is the new moon. So this is why I said the whole December cycle started with the new moon in Scorpio. And we're going through the whole Scorpio cycle, the whole month, until the 30th, when we have the new moon in Sagittarius. And then we're starting a new cycle of hope and growth and whatnot for those last couple of days. So again, this is a quick overview of the month of December 2024. And again, we have 2025 right around the corner. By the way, if you wanted to get a more detailed forecast of December 2024, I just did it's about a half an hour where I went through the same things I just showed you, but much more in depth. That's part of the $9.99 a month forecast, where you also get access to the, as it says here, very detailed video of the coming month, or that's the month that you're in, the new moon forecast, like the new moon in Scorpio, the new moon in Sagittarius, and the full moon forecast for your sign, for each of the 12 signs. So that's only $9.99 a month if you're interested in that as well. And again, remember that the 2025 forecast is also there if you want to get that. It's a free forecast. And again, you'll at least learn about the Jupiter and Gemini for your sign. So yeah, that's the 2024, that's the December 2024 forecast. Again, like I said at the beginning, it's really a very intense Scorpio month. Again, as you see, we start off here with the new moon in Scorpio on the 1st, all these planets. And then by the time we get to the end of the month, the moon has gone through all of this and it's come back full circle, but the moon is now it's actually the new moon in Sagittarius. So again, I hope you have a great December 2024. And again, the other things I offered, certainly 2025 right around the corner. I really encourage you to get the free forecast. Also, if you do want to get all of the updates at the member level, you can just click the join button under here and join at the $9.99 level. So you have a great one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.